So the software is still installing right now. I just want to let you know. So let this thing run for a few minutes with it, and then you come back and check back on it when both of these bars are up when they're finished with it. Okay. So I'm going to go back to pause, and I'll pick up in a second. So after all that, it's going to run, and it should pop up this window. It says modify or launch with it. So what I would like for you to do is to click on launch when this happens. Okay, so you're at the stage right now. Should everything install right now with it. So you can just do File, New, Project. Come down here, make sure you have Visual C++, Win32, Win32 console application, and then you would actually have your, again, I would call this thing the Hello World, one word, Hello World, one word. Again, the 5 checkpoints are Win32, make sure it's under Visual C++, Windows 32, that's one. Second one is Win32 console application. Third one is the name of it, Hello World, one word, uppercase H, uppercase W. The path that you need to put this in, the location. So just for the purpose of demonstration, I'm going to put this under, I have a folder called Sandbox, okay? So I'm going to point it to Sandbox right now with it, and it's just a desktop, a place where I put and test stuff with it. Matter of fact, for the purpose of this demonstration with it, I have several directories that's going in there. Is probably Hello World, I don't know with it. So I'm going to do Hello World _ 2017. I probably have something called Hello World in there. I don't want it to conflict with what I have, so I just gave it a different name. With now, remember now, whatever the name you give for this name of this project, it's going to create the directory called Hello World. In this case, I have Hello World _ 2017. It's going to create the directory Hello World _ 2017. I put it in a location. That's the fourth step. The fifth step is make sure I disable, uncheck, create directory for solution. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is to disable, create directory for solution. Click OK. When I get to here, make sure you click on Application and Settings, and make sure you enable and check Empty Project. This is one step that people rush with it, and if you don't do the empty project, it puts all these header files in there for you. Okay, so make sure you don't slow down, and make sure you check or enable empty project for me. After you do this, just click on finish for me. So once you have this, this is what it looks like. I'm just going to right mouse click on it. I'm going to come down to add new item, and then I'm going to select the CPP. I'm going to call this thing main. Lowercase main is the file. And here I am. Let me just crank this font up a little bigger. So I'm going to do Tools, Option, come down to General. I'm going to find scroll down on the text editor, find C++, make sure I select C++, I have line number is checked. I have it checked already. I'm going to have it word wrap at the same time. Come on up and find your text editor with this thing, and under your project, under your environment, you should find your fonts and color. For the purpose, I got to crank this up to 24 so you can see this when I record this thing. So you don't have to set this thing. Again, I want to do the simple Hello World with the 3 lines of, the first one is comment your name. Goes here. // tells the compiler to ignore that whole entire line with it. This is the course number, 1436, whatever the section is. So it's going to be some number. And then this is the Hello World program. So why do I call it Hello World? It's just a tradition that most programmers, when they're new to a compiler, they always run like a trial run with this thing. You're gonna have to bear with me in this, what I'm about to tell you, and this what I call the skeleton. You start out with pound include, which is the preprocessor file that you're going to read about chapter 2 with it as well. You're going to do the IO stream with it. So if you notice that the IntelliSense kind of kicked in with it, so this brings in the file. IO stands for input output, and streams means to basically read each line and feeds it out with it. The next line is using namespace std. This allows you to use CNC out, inline, and your insertion extractor, and your different type symbols that you have in here as well. Your first function is going to be called main function. It has a curly left and right brackets with it, and there is what's called return 0. And I'm going to explain this more in detail when we get to chapter 6 about value function with this. But for the purpose right now, I need for you to do a cout with a string and a quote. It says hello world. This is my first C++ program. Okay. And period. And then when you come outside of that quote for me, just do NL in line. Make sure it's NL, not number 1. Okay. So this is NL, the letter L, as in the alphabet, and a semicolon. All right. Excuse me. Control S to save it. Now, in 2017, to compile it, you would actually do Control F7, okay, not Control F5. Control F5 is for the 2015. Control F7 is to compile this thing. Now, if you notice, once you have compiled this thing, it should say 1 succeeded, means that you don't have any syntax errors, right? So that's what happens with it. That's okay. Control F5 is still compiling it, so you do that. Okay, so this is what you get when you do a Control F5. It's the same thing. This is my first C++ program. So the key thing is, here's what I would like for you to do. I don't want you to make sure you tighten up the output for me. And if you want to take a screenshot of just this right here, okay, just that right there with it, I'd like for you to just tighten up it and do Control Alt print screen. Okay, so I'm going to basically, I just took a snapshot of this, and if you are doing your assignment in your whatever it is that you're doing with it, just open up that Word document wherever I asked you to paste this in, and that's how it goes into that whatever section is the output with it. Okay, cool. All right, so that's about it with it as well. All right, so I want to pause this thing right now, and that should conclude our tutorial. Cool. Hey, so I just want to follow up with a couple more. Give me about 20 seconds to point this out. So we just did this hello world, right? And I want to close out of the solution, okay? Close out properly and how to load this in the future properly with this thing. So let's say you fire up Visual Studio in the future and you need to reopen your project again that you're working on, right? So you would actually do file. You're not going to do new project. You're going to come down to open. You're going to open the solution. So this is one way of doing it. Remember where we store it? I had on my desktop, and I had a folder called Sandbox. And I want you to find that folder, the Sandbox folder. Here it is. And inside of that, you remember what I call it? Hello World _ 2017. What I need for you to look for is the file that has the solution, Microsoft Visual Studio Solution. This is the one that you would open, okay? So open the Microsoft Studio Solution. It's an SLN file extension. So click on that one. It loads your entire project plus your main here. You see? That's how you load it. This is the proper way of loading this. This is, alright, so if this is closed, I'm going to click on that X, close it, and you click on it, that's how you load it back on. Now, let me close out of this for a moment. Here's another way. You got to be careful. I'm going to close out of this. Make sure you don't have multiple windows down there that you're running with it. See how I just had the hello world running in the behind? And you compile again, it's going to give you some errors with it as well. Now, here's what not to do. All right, so go back. Remember that sandbox that I have on my desktop with this thing? So I'm going to find that directory on my desktop. Here's that sandbox. This is the one I'm talking about right here. All right, so I'm going to sandbox, and I'm going to find my directory, that hello world _ 2017. I go inside it. This is what not to do. Do not do this. Open this with just the main. So it opens, but you notice on the right hand side over here, it doesn't open the entire project. You have to open the SLN, the solution file, to load your entire project into it, and then you edit this. You're just opening the C++ file. You can't compile this, meaning Control F5, in here to get this to work. Does that make sense? That's what not to do. So I'm going to close out of this. So the other way is I can go in and find the SLN file, which is this one right here, the solution, Studio Solution, this right here. I double click on that. This will do the same thing, going through File, open the existing. You see how that loads all the way in? Okay, so you have all that. That's how you open your entire project. Okay, that's all I have to say about this thing. Thank you.